partypoker.net World Open 4, where the poker elite have flown from around the globe for an ultimate face-off. There is over $500,000 in the prize pool. The winner gets a massive $250,000 check. The race is on.
I always call No Limit Texas Hold'em the beautiful game.
I always think I'm going to win.
It's a real man's game.
If I win it, it's all skill. Do I sound like I know what I'm talking about?
In this round, a spot at the semifinals is up for grabs, and for our runners-up, there is a second chance to get back in it in the turbo round. Also, nobody knows how the pros' minds tick like Neil Bad Beat Channing. He'll be given his insights on the moves that grew to help you become a poker superstar. Only 2 more heats will play out. They bring dark glasses, stern poker faces, and their lucky charms to help them win the biggest stack. The players take their seats and the cards go down. The pressure is on for our 6 hopefuls. Look at the ears. Look at the ears, they're tweaking.
1-2, 1-2. Jesse May, 1-2.
Go on, Boff. Bosh him in.
Finally get some respect. Sounds tricky.
This poker player has been on the scene for 20 years after discovering the game on a holiday to Las Vegas. Kevin O'Connell has taken some huge cash wins at the EPTs, WPTs, and the Irish Open.
I thought I was quite good up to that January. Things like the weather. If the weather improves, I get my income.
Roberto Romanello from Wales is a real character. Maybe one of the wild cards, but his back chat and cheeky banter can all be employed to secure that win he is craving.
It's not good to say, oh, man lucky all the time, but nobody ever listens. You've got to prove yourself, you've got to go out and win. So I'm not going to say nothing from now on, I'm just going to try and win it.
Magill from Ireland. His biggest poker achievement is reaching 12th place in the WSOP in 2006. Recently, he has been lying low and is hoping, with the help of his lucky cat, he can take another big win.
I think poker's like life. There's a lot of decisions you have to make, a lot of moves you can make. It's just like, I really like the psychology side of it, so it's just, and it's a good game, and I really enjoy it.
Marty Smyth is on a roll. He was runner-up in the Poker Million and picked up over $500,000 at the 2007 Irish Open, and is one of the top cats at the table.
Kind of a very logical thinker, I suppose. I like, thinking my way through problems, which, it's kind of what poker's about.
Chip Cherry, the yellows are valued at $1,000, the blues worth $2,000, and the reds a cool water sandwich and $5K a piece. $100,000 per player, $600K are in play.
What do you want us to do? No, it's just that this is quite smooth.
And you talk about table talk. I mean, between Roberto Romanello and Buzzer Bihl, they may be chattering all day long. That's including the Thomas might not say one word.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think Thomas lets his poker do the talking, and Roberto just can't help it. He has to keep reeling them off.
A couple talkers at this table. Scally and Kevin O'Connell both get into it, and Jon Magill. You've played with a lot of these guys in this format.
I've played with them all, basically. The guy I'd sort of want to keep away from around the table when he's in a pot is Thomas. To be fair, Jesse, he don't play many pots, but when he does, he's super aggressive. He overbets the pot. You think he don't make moves, but he certainly does that as well.
He does, and I mean, this is very familiar to him, this one table, fast rising blind type of thing. He does it on the internet.
He's a master at it.
Yeah.
Cool.
This guy here, Scally, he's got to be, I should imagine him and Channing are probably the most informed English players at the minute. And Channing's gone on and won his heat, so we might be looking at Scally
I mean, when you do play the deuce 3 suited, the best pair you're going to usually flop is the bottom pair.
Yeah.
But, you know, he's bet this out in such a way that he can get away from it cheap.
Well, yeah, he knows he can get away from the end anyway.
Cool.
Nice call here from Marty. You know, it's early doors. Don't want to get too excited.
And depending on what comes, that would look like a scare card if you're Marty Smyth, right?
Yeah. He's not going to let up. He'll fire another bullet. He definitely calls again, Marty.
14,000.
Can he call here, Marty?
Yeah. Yeah. It's first hand in. Scally's come out betting. He might think that he's got a monster, but you know, you can put Scally on anything, can't you? At the minute.
It's the power of his game. And I mean, he's been in such great form, Jonathan. I mean, geez, he was over in Vegas. He's gotten a 21st in the toughest tournament right now in the world, they say, the 25,000 WPT. He started off with another score and a side event there. He's put Marty Smyth in the tank. Do you think Marty should have already had a plan he should call this? He's not going to get a read, is he? Is he going to raise?
I can't see him raising now. It's gone on too long, but yeah, he's definitely going to call.
And this pot now big enough where Scally is going to have a serious decision about the third bullet on the river.
Yeah, I mean, he knows he's in massive trouble, Scally.
Check.
Yeah.
Check.
2 pair.
And Marty, you can see that checking the 3 queens. I think he kind of had a good read on the situation. He was somewhere between miles in front, miles behind.
Oh, he's been raising it.
I thought they were suited until the Queen of Hearts came in the end.
The result that Thomas Bihl had at the World Series of Poker Europe this year was...
Yeah, he won the horse event there, you know.
It was nearly as impressive as Annette's. I mean, quite. But when they got down to 3, I think there was Buzzer Bihl, and then there was like Jennifer Harmon and Kirk Morrison with all the chips.
Yeah.
He thrashed them.
Yeah, he did.
Pass.
I like the way he plays these heats. I wouldn't want to be laying him.
You
Pass.
wouldn't...
Raise to 5,000 total.
Here comes
Pass.
Scally again. Roberto's actually yet to say anything, which... Well, I don't know.
Call.
Obviously, he wasn't going to fold the ace-10 to Scally's button raise.
No, for sure. You don't really want to be re-raising it just in case. So let's have a look. He'll be pleased with this.
A good spot.
Jon will probably represent.
Check. 8,000.
He can play fast, Scally. And the quick call by Roberto. I mean, Scally's... Is he going to shut down completely here?
Well, you'd think once bitten, twice shy. We'll soon find out.
Check.
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 Scally actually drawing dead, but a couple cards could be very scary. I get the feeling we're going to see check, check.
Check, check, yeah. Well, no, Roberto.
4,000.
Ouch.
How much did he bet?
4.
4,000.
You said, I mean, Scally, you may as well not bet that.
Cool.
But he's got it paid off with the 6s. And first pot for Roberto Romanello.
Yep. And 3, very nice.
Roberto's probably the only guy at this table who he's played a lot of these. He hasn't won any of these yet.
Coming second and third in like major events is it's heartbreaking sometimes, but they say you never feel great unless you win a big event. You know, a big tournament. You know, you can come second and you still feel as if you've lost, and I think that is true. Obviously, it's a big achievement to come final table in a big major event and things like that. But I believe it is true. You need to win it to really feel on top of the world. So that's my goal at the moment, to win a major event.
Pass.
So I don't think Scally will be too bothered about losing half his stack. I mean, he's very
He will, Jesse. He won't.
Yeah.
He won't. You know, he's backed up against the wall already.
But he'll go to plan B, like, I mean.
Oh, for sure. You've always got plan B.
Raise to 5,000 total.
the good thing is it's only level 1, so he can afford to try and see a few more flops now. I think that's what he'd have to do, and hope to catch something.
Quick call from Magill with a way better queen, and wonder if he knows what good shape he's in. Roberto could probably take this.
Check.
Check.
Jon's MO is that when he's in a pot, he always tries to win it at some point in the hand, no matter what he has.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're right.
I mean, you don't. If he calls you once, you don't expect him just to then check and fold on the flop. At some point, you always feel like he's going to do something.
Check. 7,000.
I have to think about this.
He's funny.
I'll tell you what.
Well, he's
right.
He's definitely got a better river.
He played the first 4 hands absolutely picture perfect, as tight as can be, but he can't help himself.
We know it's a split pot. Boy,
He's a pleasure to watch.
14,000.
I'll see him make some really amazing calls, Jesse, at this game, like you wouldn't believe.
He's so out there all the time, Jon. And here he's right. I mean, and when you watch Jon Magill, you know, you have to keep in the back of your mind, this man got 12th in the main event at the World Series. I mean, you know, coming through thousands and thousands of people. And this is it, because he can pick up so many pots.
He'll love that hand as well. That'll give him a bit of confidence, and I think we'll see him
I know. It gets expensive when you get
from
caught
strength
at
to
it.
strength. There you go, look, nice big smile.
Don't be hard.
Gary will say, must have been 4 aces. Could only have been 4 of a kind. Welcome back to the partypoker.net, a World Open 4. Still a full table of 6. It ain't been slow. Marty's played 2 and won 2. And Magill's won the others, I think.
Marty was put out there as the favourite by the bookmaker. Closely followed by Thomas. I'm not sure how the betting went for the others.
It was kind of close. I mean, I think he made Marty something like a 72 favorite.
5,000 total.
Actually, in these heats, usually there's a guy who's in there around 9 to 4 or 5 to 2. So I think there was a general feeling this heat's pretty wide open.
Re-raise to 15,000.
Bihl, that's a move early on in the first level. What do you make of it?
Yeah. Well, he knows Marty's fairly tight player. Early, he's got a couple of nice cards. Don't mind seeing a flop with him. If he gets a call, he's happy, you know. And if Marty passes it, he's happy. Obviously, to a re-raise, he puts it down.
Marty's
no big deal.
He's getting a reasonable price for a lot of hands to see the flop. Maybe not the King 10 offsuit.
No, it's a lousy hand, King 10.
And that is the buzzer Bihl.
You look a bit stronger behind the glass, a bit more intimidating, and you don't give away any tells with your eyes, like they might be flickering or something. So that's the reason for the glasses.
As far as the first level goes,
yeah, they've just sort of shared Scally's chips out, really, haven't they? Jon getting the most of them up there, 119.
Magill, it's no surprise to see him at the top of the leaderboard, but it is a little bit of a surprise how he did it, which is in a much more controlled fashion. You got to think it bodes well for him.
Great. Yeah.
Roberto's looking for someone to have a chat with. I think he's getting frustrated. He's not talking enough. He'd find it hard to have a conversation with Kevin. I don't think the two of them would understand each other, would they?
I think so.
Cool. Pass.
And the limp in by Marty.
Cool.
It's giving Kalmar a little pause here. He decided he can afford to try and take a peek Will he let him?
No raise.
That's right.
Why would you have raised there? To put pressure on Scally?
Well,
anyway.
because Scally's got such a small stack, if he's got any sort of hand, he shovels it in. You know, now
Check.
he can get away from it.
Check.
Obviously, we
Check.
know he wouldn't have because he's got the he's only got 3-6. But
if it comes a club, it's going to be a complete hash of this for Romanello.
Check.
He's check raising here as well. You think? Tried to check raise once. Going to try and check raise twice. He's got
9,000.
Marty on the hook, and
Pass.
I guess. Oh, don't know about that.
yeah, I don't mind that.
Yeah,
I
he's
don't
going to get
mind.
more on the river then.
Yeah. Not now, eh?
He's not going to like that card, Roberto.
$24,000.
I mean, it's been an interesting line from the start for Roberto. Obviously, if he raises for the flop, he makes a big pot.
If he pays this off, then he's obviously done it all wrong. But if he passes, then he ain't done bad.
How would you think about this if you're Roberto? I mean, he knows that his hand is very deceptive, right? So doesn't that play into it? I mean,
yeah, but yeah. You're looking
you
at
still can't beat anything.
Any 10.
I mean, if you feel like if Marty had anything that had any showdown value, he would have just flipped it, right? So he's either got everything or nothing.
Yeah. He's actually, you know, I didn't mind the flat call there on the turn, but he's actually played it into, he's played his hand into a bit of a mess now, hasn't he? Now he's going through his mind a rhyme or a reason to call.
I get the feeling he's more worried about the straight possibility than the flush. I don't know. Is he kind of
Got a big hand?
There we go.
Average.
Bigger than mine? My hands.
Oh, I can't really tell you that. I don't know what you have for a start.
Hmm?
I don't know what you have for a start, so.
You show me this one time if I pass?
No.
Hmm? Just this one time?
That's one time.
I can show you one time, so.
Hmm? You're not going to show me.
People do this, and I'm not sure what answer they're looking for.
You going to show or not? Yes or no?
I know what the right answer is here.
I don't know, I'm just asking.
He's in the
I
same
just want
as
to see
you,
hands. I'll
Jesse.
fold. Are you gonna show me if I pass? It's one time. Just this one time.
I'll show you if you call. Is that?
You're gonna show, yes or no?
I'll show you if you
It's
call.
gonna happen otherwise. You're gonna show, yes or no?
I don't think you're gonna call.
Hmm?
I don't think you're gonna call. Or you're gonna call by now.
Well, he's right about that. I think he's right about that, actually.
Great answer.
I was never intending on calling. Strange pattern.
Isn't it obvious?
He's thinking to himself.
I could either have got away from a monster early on, or the way I played it, and then I got beat. I'm gonna pass.
Good pass.
Maybe.
I think Marty was right there that he actually was never gonna call. You were saying that he knew he couldn't from the start. It's nice to be able to go through the trials and tribulations of poker with Neil Channing. And that hand, Neil, Ace-King, not all it's cracked up to be for Roberto.
It can be a very difficult hand to play, particularly out of position. Roberto started the hand with about 90,000 chips, which is far too many to get the whole lot in pre-flop with that hand. So I think he made quite a good decision just to see a flop and see what happened. He's got Marty Smyth, a very strong player, on his left, and maybe he should see what happened.
But would you have made different decisions, and when, and why?
Well, basically, every other decision he made I hated, apart from passing on the river. This is a very draw-heavy flop. It's come King, Jack of clubs. He can't really rely on Scally to bet for him. It looks like Scally hasn't got much of a hand. He would have probably raised pre-flop with a short stack if he had. He should bet the flop, and then on the turn, he's decided to check and call. It looked for all the world like he was going to check raise on the turn.
Was that just momentarily fear of the possible straight, or was it because he was better off inducing the bluff?
I think he just got a bit too clever for his own good. If he bets on the turn, if he check raises on the turn, they get all the money in probably anyway, and he goes away thinking he was just unlucky. But now he's gone away thinking he's played it like an idiot, and that's got to be worse.
I'm trying to push them.
126 chip leader. They're really spread around here. You see, 3 players over 1 player.
I feel obliged to play that under these things, don't you?
Yeah, I didn't really want to, but...
Easy to chuck away the 10-handed table with big stacks.
4,000 on Roberto.
Pass. Pass. Pass.
Gee, Scally's giving him a good looking.
Pass.
Pass. Pass.
Is he?
Don't be doing it.
Cool.
He's got too many chips to just move all in here.
Now you're in trouble.
Yeah, he wants to see cheap flop if he can.
Trap and check. Trap and check you.
Trap and check.
Wants to have an opportunity to make some chips.
Yeah.
Oh.
Check.
Check. Check.
I wonder if he might check again and try and get Kevin to bluff it.
Check. I'm all over it.
Oh, this is it. This is all in. No.
Cool.
No. Why not?
20 something.
Well, he don't need to, does he? He's absolutely all over these 4 cards.
Check.
He won't like this now.
14,000.
Kev, what are you up to?
Yeah, he won't. He definitely won't like it now.
I think he can call it. No. It's weird. It's a weird card on the river for Kevin to make a big bet, isn't it?
I feel like calling so I can make a record comeback if I'm wrong.
You feel like calling
can Kevin have that beats him?
You're wrong.
Cool.
I've got a flush.
Have you really?
No, I've got 6 high.
That was a good call.
He'll be over the moon with that.
I can't understand that. I feel like calling that I can make a record comeback if I'm wrong.
I'm supposed to be one of your mates, and that's the sort of shit you're pulling over. It can be tougher playing people that you know already. Some of the reasons being if they're friends of yours, you don't particularly want to knock them out, but at the end of the day, you know, cards is cards, you can't really have friends on the table. But yeah, I mean, they seem to know my game quite well. I know their game quite well. It's sometimes quite difficult to alter your game in a way that's going to help you win.
There will be pressure at some point, obviously, when this heat gets deep, but there's a sort of a remarkably kind of relaxed atmosphere overall. Yeah, something to do with Scally just seems so delighted to be there. He's a fun guy to play with.
Pass.
That was Kevin.
Cool.
Roberto.
Cool. No rise.
Blind on blind. And, excuse me, O'Connell as well with the limp.
Check. Check. Check.
You have to make Magill a massive favorite here to win this pot.
You even looked at his face then and you fancied that he wanted to have a bet.
Check.
In my mind, he's still a favorite to win this pot. I know he's going to have a really tough time.
12,000.
Uh-oh. When Kevin calls here, this makes it really interesting decision for Roberto, or is it no decision? He says no decision.
Oh, no decision. That's why I think he was playing his ace-king, you know, more worried, in a worried way than trying to be cagey. Look at Roberto.
That's it's a terrible card for Magill because all of a sudden it looks like, well, maybe he's got enough to try and check this down with the king. Uh-oh. I'd love to know what kind of hand he's trying to take Kevin off of.
Well,
the 6, maybe?
He does it, John, time and time again, you know.
16,000.
Relentless.
He does fire the bullets. He makes it 32, I should imagine. Praying John's got a 6.
Rise, 16,000 more.
Yeah, minimum raise. We know he's not going to get any action.
John, slow down. Don't. He's not. He knows he's beat, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Can he try and read Kevin as bluffing here? And the thing that can sometimes drag him down. I mean, he's capable of putting people so much pressure on people. Is there any way Kevin doesn't have a jack here? No.
Oh, he's a boy.
Oh gosh. He has so much heart. He has so much heart.
32.
Another what?
There's some old Hollywood going on here.
I mean, at this stage, if you're Kevin, are you thinking I'm either tied or I'm losing to 4 6s? I mean, you have to think like that, right? Is there any value in raising at all now for him? What would you be doing?
No, you just call, wouldn't you, just in case there's enough in the middle.
And that last bit.
No, he's put the last bit in. Well, I think he had a few chips over. John's absolutely gutted.
Well, he knows for sure now that he's behind.
Do you think so?
Aye.
Oh, John.
Roberto, look, it'd be really funny if Kevin turned around and said I had a 6. Roberto would be absolutely ill.
He's got the nuts. He just saw the chips go in for 12,000.
Your what? Fours.
Your fours were good, they were good, yeah.
Gave me a full house, didn't it? 3 fours and 2 jacks.
Still to come. The race to the semifinals is on after the break. Welcome back to the partypoker.net World Open 4. This table's still full, but not full stacked.
Pass. Pass. Pass.
Here comes Buzza. And the fact that he got Kevin to put down sort of a big hand, that's given him liberty here. That's what this is about.
Yeah, strong play from him.
He knows Kevin put a big hand down.
Well,
Call.
Not putting this one down. I'll tell you, if Kevin had folded that, he would have gotten ace-king the next time in the big blind. And, well, good news for Buzzer. Bihl, the pot is 121. The bad news, he's all in trouble.
It just shows you one more spot, Jesse. It was automatic call from Kevin. Ace-jack to ace-queen.
Oh, you nearly wins then, didn't you? You nearly let out a right old wins then.
I might be waiting yet. You
Jack was in the door and ace was in the window.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
He nearly started.
Buzzer Bihl needs a jack, needs an 8. The club's no good. A couple cards here.
Nice hand, Kevin.
Yeah, it's curtains for Thomas. He's just bang unlucky with his pair of 10s against Scally. He's gone.
He played great. I mean, you have to say he played. Well, that's how he plays. He's a great player. He played great. 5 left now, and O'Connell nearly half the chips in play. I mean, he's made the running, really.
Yeah, he'd be so pleased with this, Jesse. You know, and so were the other guys, really. Halmar, Magill were still in there fighting.
You come all the way from Germany, fly to London, and then basically the first coin flip almost did all the damage. In this format, you just can't afford to lose the first coin flip, and it's frustrating. Yeah.
You know these short stacks, the way they've been playing so far.
Fours.
They're playing really tight. He wants to try and exploit that.
What would you be doing right now with Kevin's stack?
Pass.
Just kind of what he's doing, just play poker and see what happens for a little while?
Yeah, carry on what he's doing. Any time he picks up an ace, pop it up a bit.
They keep you awake for days.
Definitely keep playing his button against these two.
Because just wreck the rest of your game.
Because he's going to play it and with a hand sooner or later, and it'll probably get called with it.
Look at Romanello, 3-6 offsuit.
I trip aces and I moved on.
Is he considering the all in? He's behind the button.
Raise to 16,000 total.
Wow, this is not like him at all. And Magill might buy it.
Well, we saw him pass ace-jack before. Roberto will be absolutely gutted now.
Yeah, it's the first time Roberto's even...
Yeah, and he's thinking to himself, why have I done this? There you go. You see?
When it rains, it pours.
Yeah, this is what happens, Jesse. Why have I done this?
And
Pass.
Geez, it's going to be expensive for Roberto, too.
And this puts Jon right back in the frame. Wow, look at this.
No!
Scally. Oh, dear.
All in.
That's unlucky. That's unlucky. Although, I don't know if Magill could have passed for a re-raise anyway.
Is it Jack, does it?
No, mate, just got his mate instead.
That's pretty unlucky for Magill.
It was the ace-king of spades last time for Scally, wasn't it, Jesse?
Queens.
Jon's made a nice read there in Romanello, but he's all in now. Scally will have a nice stack if this one holds, and it looks to.
I don't know as well.
Yeah, the race as well.
Had a good round of the two of us.
Anything but the jack, he's thinking.
Spades is still alive. A couple of spades.
3-4.
Bill's
3-4 would be
looking
nice.
for the
I'd be
jack
happy with
alone.
3-4.
He'll
That's
take
not
it any
like
suit.
no.
He won't mind. He's willing to settle.
No,
That's actually not a horrible card from Magill. I mean, there's a flush draw there, but
That'd be any good.
bunch of split pots all of a sudden.
No,
Five.
that'd be cruel.
2 or 5.
Oh, the jack of
Not as cruel as
hearts.
that.
That hurt.
Oh, dear.
As far as cruel goes, that was pretty damn cruel.
Come to daddy's gone.
You just say lucky.
I said unlucky.
Do you think?
Roberto he must feel like his table image is shot. You know, it's just nothing has worked for him
No,
tonight.
he's been a bit unlucky, hasn't
Do you mind if I pinch a big blind?
I haven't looked at my cards, so
I
you
know.
might not be pinching it.
It's not just between you and Kevin. I've got some say in it at all.
No, I'll go ahead, pinch it. Try and nick it.
What?
Try and steal it.
I
You
would mind,
serious?
thank you very much.
Go on then.
Raised. All in.
you
It's a
told me to.
gambling sort of move here, Ian, but
You're a
I mean, he might
gentleman.
be thinking he can't let the blinds go by him.
he? Yeah, well, he's only got 37,000. He
Can still make people fold nothing.
Yeah.
Pass.
You scared of putting another bad beat on someone there, John?
Pass.
I'd be embarrassed
Can't really
too.
blame
Oh,
him.
look at this. It's just sick.
There's not many cards I can call you, I can tell you that.
Unbelievable shape against the king deuce.
Unfortunately, this is one of them. Call.
Call.
Well, I passed the pair of two.
Right in front. Well,
Nice one.
I passed the pair
I was
of
going
two.
to call to Jack Ken.
Romanello, you wouldn't
Wish you did,
begrudge
you'd
him
have
a
folded.
spot of luck
He
here,
would've,
but the way
yeah.
things have gone for him tonight, Roberto just...
Yeah, you know it's going to come king, something, 5.
And Marty Smyth passed a 5, so it'll be the
the
case
5 would be
for him.
nice, just to stop me from sweating.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Looking like the king is needed.
Well,
Diamond
to find
dive
Mickey, you might go
possible
six.
order for Roberto.
That made you
there's the
jump.
Jack.
That really got me, John. No
Like
pain.
20 seconds.
If a king comes, I'm going to light my cigarette up in the middle of the studio.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Good luck, guys.
Grim.
Pleasure.
Yeah, mate. Well, it's got to get better.
Yeah,
I think you'd be wondering what's happened in this heat myself.
I mean, he's a great player. We've seen him play
Good luck,
great,
Ron.
and
See you later, mate.
it all was wrong.
Can't happen, like.
Lines up, and that's not great news for the short stacks, which is the other 3-bar Kevin O'Connell. And is this a good time for Kevin to power on?
Well, yeah, I think the first move we're going to see is Scally's chip straight into the middle of the table, Jesse, and then whatever happens after that, then Kevin's got to take charge.
Could be no look here.
Oh, for sure.
All in.
That's just about the same. It's probably just above average.
42.
Well, I don't even know what
30
he's
more.
thinking about.
30 more.
There's
Really think he
no
can pass
decision, he
those.
knows that.
Call.
I'd like to see Scally take this pot down, to be fair, because it's quite exciting to watch when he gets a few chips.
He is, and he's obviously playing well. He's a pleasure to have at the table.
Jack attack.
Let's straight on the flop, Jack Queen.
An 8-9 or something.
Yeah, with an 8-9.
There's the
That's trouble.
5.
That's like the nail in the coffin. I think he knows it's all over for him.
Was that all?
There you go.
Another Jack.
That 0.
Yeah, he ain't a lot of form.
See you later, mate.
We're free-handed, Jesse.
No, and
Good luck, Marty.
I mean, he went out there and he grabbed this heat and he just went for it. That's what happens when you don't lose a hand you played. 360,000. But, you know, between Smith and Magill, I mean, Magill's only going to get stronger.
Jon Magill, he's still in there.
I don't remember seeing this situation in the tournament, up till now. This big a lead three-handed with the blinds this low. Obviously, if the blinds were 10 and 20, there's a lot more to. You have to keep your finger involved.
Jon will be playing this on his button.
30. Yep.
Raised to 30,000 total.
And the decision for Marty Smyth.
Well, Marty looks like he's playing this.
Well,
yeah. He's all in.
And I'm guessing this has a lot to do with Jon Magill's raising requirements, that he thinks perhaps Jon Magill can fold.
Well, of course, it's a button raise. He thinks he can be doing it with almost anything. Not a nice hand to do it with, is it? Pair of deuces.
98.
It's more than me, anyway. Ah, dear God.
He's capable of folding big hands, Magill, but this is a big hand. This is a really big hand, isn't it? I mean, he has to think Marty Smyth could have a lower ace.
No, I don't think so.
No?
No.
You don't think Marty could have a lower ace?
No.
It's got to be a small pair or big ace.
Yeah, I think so. A pair or a bigger ace, you know, with Marty.
77K he's got, and the chance to obviously double up and be the one to face O'Connell. If he folds here, what kind of shape is he in? That's a sideways shuffle. They have to get over that.
He knows how to do the sideways shuffle, all right.
Regardless of what he's going to do, I'm sure he's going to do it.
I mean, it's going to flop first, you know.
You've got 77.
What's it worth, 77 right now?
Yes.
Let's go. You want the good news?
Perhaps
No,
the fact that it was the ace-jack that got him out of the muck before.
Yeah. You've been in very good shape.
54s?
50-50. Yeah, you have to call that. Jesus, took you so long.
I know.
It is 50-50. I mean,
Pressure. That's where the skill comes in.
I think Kevin's pretty happy either way.
Yep. Of course he is.
Yeah, a bit of form with that ace-jack.
But 2-2-4. Marty Smyth not all in, but in trouble.
Oh,
he's got,
still 50.
He's got the club draw. Yeah, there's still not a lot in it.
Ace of clubs, huh? Don't even say that. A red card.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not over yet. You can still chop.
I can what?
Yeah,
still chop
any
it.
club actually
Any
is a
club chops it.
split, interestingly enough.
Trips. Yeah, more luck.
Good hand.
All right, guys. See you later. Nice.
Well, unlucky, John.
Scully will
You
probably
missed out,
forgive
mate.
you now.
Skin of your teeth. Fair luck.
Can't forgive me. All right.
Good luck.
For Jon Magill, the ace-jack tonight was both life and the end. It was an aggressive play by Marty Smyth.
Yeah, it was Jesse, very aggressive, and John's had to call him.
And the end, just that little lonely deuce of clubs playing to make the flush.
I said I wasn't going to play a lot of hands, I was going to hold back, but I just can't help myself. I just have to play. So I mean, I've serious problems. I just want to be there playing cards, and I see everybody fold, and I want to play a hand. And then when I did decide to play a hand, I got myself into all kinds of trouble.
Elevator going up on the 4th floor, men's suits and shoes. He would have been the favorite when this heat kicked off. All the way from Belfast, Marty Smyth. He's got more chips than at any point this heat, but still has to get by the builder from Burnley, Kevin O'Connell, who's been pretty unconscious from start to finish.
Yeah, he's played a good game, Jesse, I think, up to now. Just remind you, he was my tip from the off. And Marty, yeah, he was the favourite from the off. I think we're going to have a quick battle here myself.
Kevin's he's played a lot of hands. They all just came perfect, and you know, this is how he wins. He's getting in a lot of pots, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously on bet frequency, Kevin way ahead, but you see that differently heads up?
Well, you know, if you had to have a bet on this, I mean, I haven't seen too much of Kevin's game. I've seen a hell of a lot of Marty's game, and I quite like the way he plays. But the way this heat's been going, I really fancy Kevin to carry it on through now. He's got 100,000 chip lead.
The blinds are quite low for heads up, only 5 and 10,000, and I think Marty will try and play pots. I mean, he is a guy who has logged just countless hours playing no limit, hold'em, heads up, short-handed on the internet. Technically,
Kevin has been hitting the deck though, hasn't he? You know,
it does equalize a lot, doesn't it?
Look at this, look. Oh, Jesus, this might not go past this end.
Kevin with bottom pair in the straight draw, and Marty with the nuts. What's the best way for him to play this? Fast or slow?
Fast.
Because there's so many draws out there.
If someone comes out and bets this flop, you know that they've hit it. So you play it fast.
Raise, 35,000 more.
He's reaching for his chips already, Kevin. He's got to slow down a bit.
And
I've done 100 quid.
Well, I mean, Kevin would have a hard time believing that he's drawing dead to win this, and basically, and he's looking just for a split. I mean, if the 4 comes, it's a good night.
Wow. I told you he's lucky.
Yeah, but Marty still got the straight.
Yeah,
Kevin's just got 2 pair. He can get away from this now, you think?
Yeah.
$60,000.
I have to think about this, Kevin. I mean, I guess the thought is he knows if it didn't hit him, it hit me, right?
Jesse, I'm just thinking before the 8 gets turned over, if an 8 comes, he'd get away from the end.
Actually, Kevin drawing now to a full house.
Wow. Cool.
And this pot is huge. This is definitely going to switch the chip lead. Kevin's got the 9 for the split, the 5 and 8 for the win. Everything else is Marty Smyth. And should he just get greedy and go all in, you think?
Yeah.
Come on.
All in?
You don't like it now.
Let's pass. Take Amex, Jesse?
Is there any way he can call?
I don't think so.
I
think he got the message on the turn, really. I know it's a big hand to pass, but
I mean, Marty's got to have the 9 here, so
Pass.
Good pass.
And Marty might just show it to him.
Yeah.
It was a pretty cold deck right start. Everything's been going perfect for Kevin. He was probably sitting there thinking, just carry on.
Yeah.
And Smyth has come alive. He is a great player, Marty Smyth. I think it was about 3 or 4 years ago when he first came into TV poker. It was one of the early Poker Millions. And
Raise.
I mean, he was awesome. Just this young kid who just gotten back from backpacking around the world.
35,000 total.
With his laptop.
There we go, Jesse.
You think so?
We might see a bit of action here.
This would be huge for Kevin. A million miles an hour, he's not going to let this go. Marty Smyth might be thinking just that. Do I want to? Stick them all in with the ragged ace.
Cool.
And then he's also thinking, and if I don't stick them all in with the ragged ace, then I'm giving up a big advantage.
Yeah.
And he's called instead.
Wow.
Check.
Check.
50.
Oh,
50,000.
He's looking at it like he don't like it as much as he didn't like it before.
Cool.
Thinking if he goes all in, he can only get called if he's beat. So he's going to take the chance of letting him draw out.
See if he slows the other chap down.
Yeah.
Check.
Oh my gosh.
Check.
I mean, poor Marty now.
Ace comes now. It's all in.
Check.
Check.
1 pair.
See him.
Rotate.
Yeah, he knew that got away from him.
Huge hand for Kevin O'Connell. It might feel like he could have gotten some money on the river, but that pot was so big.
This is the biggest gap that we've had so far between them, Jesse. 425 to 175.
Jeez, he got taken all the way down and stormed back.
Another nice pair of cards he's picked up.
And I think he'll be willing to commit with those.
Yeah,
Just a question that you raise a
Raise.
little bit and see what happens. I
You've
guess.
got a pound. Now, when you know he's got the free shot, Jesse, as we've been saying.
45,000 total.
Well, this would be enough for him.
I think it would be.
Yeah.
Come on.
You raised all
And
in.
he calls.
See you in 10 minutes.
And I mean, the situation, of course, is Kevin's going to ask for a count here.
How much more is it?
He'll still be a reasonable leader by about 45,000 if he calls and loses, and just because of that, it's like automatic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. 93.
Guess he could.
You know, we saw in.
I should pass this.
What did he say? I should.
He said I shouldn't. Yeah, I shouldn't.
If that's 93, I call you.
Don't know
Tell
whether I
you,
wanted to be
poker
93 or
players
not.
are so fickle, aren't they?
He said if
They're
that's
so
93,
fickle.
I call you.
We saw it with Roomit. You remember
96
he
must have cost.
was in front 3 times and wound up.
I'll definitely have to call
He
you.
put it all in when he knew he was
Are you
behind
from?
and hit.
I've only got
Oh.
an ace.
Yeah, I know you got an ace. That's why I haven't got one.
Yeah, you're right. Well,
The Jack's in being good. Come on, baby. Fine
this
with that Jack.
is the first time
Jack, ace, ace.
O'Connell's had Smith's chips all in with a chance to win.
Oh,
He is trailing,
up
but
here
not
with the-
really
the
by
Jack,
Where's the
much.
body
the
pin?
Jack on the flop.
Marty will be a little more worried, but feeling
Spades.
better now.
Yes, look.
Uh-oh.
You're
Just
going to
one
put it up on the
more,
list.
just one more
put it up
spade. Just one more spade, baby.
Marty's thinking
Just
if the
one
spade's going to
Come
come,
on,
put it
Cal,
up
just
now
one
and not later.
Come on, Cal, just one.
You got a redraw. It's made a straight for Marty. He was ahead anyway, but it means the king or jack's no good.
Yeah, that's right.
14 inches, something like that.
Spade or a 6.
Oof, right in the middle.
Well,
First
we're game
double
on
up.
again.
Yeah.
Wow, we.
And he can take a drink of water. He had to sweat that one in. That was the first big sweat I think he's had since this tournament started.
You're right.
Oh, the deuces, the deuces.
The deuces, he had it all in, didn't he? But he was never in any danger, was he? There.
Ace, deuce.
You know, the clubs come
Biggest
and
hand to pass.
he hit deuce on the river as well.
Apart from the left hand where I limped in the
You're
button,
right.
trying to trap you.
Raise.
Raise.
$50 more.
Raised 70,000 total.
Total 70. Quick
Realize
all
the
in
line.
from Marty, and he's got the goods, the pocket pair
I call.
with the under. And Kevin says,
It's
let's
just
go
probably
for
50-50.
it.
Yeah, it's frustration. This is
Yeah, I think so.
frustration. You know, you should take your time and.
I mean, this is a huge pot. I mean, these guys had big chips. Kevin needs the ace.
Well, he's done the diamond draw. That's gone. So it's down to the bare ace.
Couple of cards for O'Connell. All the rest are Marty Smith.
Fine, baby.
He
That's
play-
it. We
he-
got our winner,
He
Jesse.
played a classy heat. I mean, when you think about the kind of cards he got early.
You got me covered, haven't you?
And,
Yeah.
I'm not sure actually.
He played solid, didn't he?
You can delete that
and
handshake.
Kevin O'Connell played awesome
It's pretty
poker
close.
up until maybe the last 2 hands. A couple draws for Kevin, and the 7s held, and Marty Smith into the semis, starting to look like one of the favorites for sure. Well, he came up on the outside and grabbed it at the end, Marty Smith. Congratulations. It was a bit of a different way to win one. You just had to let everybody make the running, didn't you?
Yeah. Look, it's kind of the way I play. All these hits, I just try and keep myself in contention and you try and maintain my starting stack and then get busy at the end.
Commiserations, Kevin. But, I mean, everybody was saying, I mean, you just played the spots off the cards. You just went for it from the start.
Well, for once in my life, I think I had a game plan today, and I stuck to it. Every time I went for my chips to make stupid bets, I just didn't do it. And every time I had a bit of a game plan. And the mistake I made then, to be quite honest, was I only looked at one card. If I had looked at both cards, I might not have put the raise in, I don't know.
We've got the lineup for the semis nearly complete, but there's still one more big heat to play out. Next time, the man who made poker what it is today tries to teach the Brits the business. But perhaps a flying Finn can take it all.
You want to see? Yeah. No, I was lying.
I haven't even looked.
Early flight back.
Here on the partypoker.net World Open Forum.